Hello, you're listening to the Eric McKenna Project.
So you're here.
Eric McKenna, I'm here. I'm here. I'm finally here. I mean, I got to run into you on the side of the street
Pretty much.
to get an invite.
Oh, come
No,
on.
I'm just
You were
kidding.
on my
How many?
list.
50, 100 episodes?
I waited till I had 50,
Yeah, I know.
and I wanted to have enough legitimacy for you.
Well, yeah, that's nice of you to say, but no.
But it's the truth.
But I noticed as soon as you went on, and I've been keeping track and tuning in, and I think you're doing a great job.
Thank you, my friend.
Again,
That means
we go
a lot.
back a few years, and
We
have
do.
a good chemistry, which is good.
Yeah.
I think we kind of get each other, and
Yeah. Well, you gave me my first real description of what the podcasting environment was. We went to that lunch. Remember?
That's
and I
right.
kind of
Went up
picked
to
your brain a
Permanis.
little bit a couple
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
I was fascinated by it.
Yeah.
And then the story. Joe Rogan just kind of took over my consciousness, the format of it, and what
Yeah.
he's doing, and why can't we do that in Pittsburgh? And like, here we are.
Yeah, I mean, this is very much Rogan-esque, and
Somewhat,
you know, when I say Howard Stern, I mean the open format, the interview, long
Sure.
form, letting people, as you say, deep dive into themselves, and you're great with that, and I think it's much needed here. So you mentioned Rogan, so I have about 13, 14 pages here. This is what, a 3-4 hour podcast? How long is this?
As long as you like
I
to go.
I mean, the history is deep. I don't have much to say. I don't do much, but.
Well,
I brought
yeah,
notes,
we can go about this multiple ways, my
Yeah.
friend. Make sure all phones are off, because that would be rather embarrassing.
Yeah, my phone is off. I brought you some wine, by the way.
You did.
I brought you a
That's
little
for me.
Chianti wine, and yeah, right. I don't drink. I don't say I don't drink. I stopped drinking. I used to say I quit drinking, but I don't know.
Every once in a while.
Yeah, I stopped drinking it, but I been almost 3 years, 3.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just decided before I was ramping up to 50, I go, that's enough. I mean, it's a lot of fun going out on the weekends, but so I stopped drinking. And so
Right.
I maybe drank twice this year.
Yeah.
Either a celebratory shot or a birthday shot, or
Celebratory.
or a beer here and there. So
What you got over there for?
I got some Chianti. But when I went to Italy,
Chianti.
and when I went to Italy, actually, I drank one night pretty heavy, some Jameson, some beer, got back into it, had a nice hangover the next day.
You got to
Still
drink when
enjoyed
you go
it.
to
But
Italy.
we went on a little tour, and they told us up into Chianti when we were in where the hell were we? Tuscany, and they always say that the black swan is a little more authentic. You want to get Chianti with a black swan.
There
on
you
it.
go.
Yeah.
See?
And that's the real. I don't know
Thank
the full
you, my
story
friend.
behind it, but it
Probably.
wasn't bottled in Neville Island. Is what this means. Is swan. So it's from the overseas.
Nothing against
from the-
Neville Island.
Nothing against Neville. Oh no, I
I've had
vacation
some
there.
gut rot from there over the years.
I vacation there every summer. So
It's an island. They say
It's
you're
an
going to the
island.
island, you're going to the island.
Neville Island,
Thank you,
brown,
my friend.
brown sandy
This
beaches.
may
You
not
are
make
welcome.
you
Because I
even-
know you guys usually have a cocktail on the show. It
We
looks
do.
fun.
We've drank a few on this show. Yeah,
I've seen it.
I've learned that I need to pace myself, because I've watched the quality of the beginning of the show.
Oh, jeez.
And then my own performance toward the end of the show, and I've decided that I need to moderate.
Yeah, that's good. Well, you'll be clean with me. I got my water here. I got 3 waters, so there might be some bathroom breaks on this. But
Yeah, we can do that.
we won't go too long. But yeah, thanks for having me. This is fun. We get to talk about me a little bit. I don't really.
Absolutely right. That's
Hey,
exactly.
why not?
That's exactly why we're here. Well, first and foremost, no matter where I go into town, whether it was designing this show, talking to guests, but even before that, in real estate, I mean, everybody, and the Coriopolis say, I know Frank Murgia. Do you know Frank Murgia? I'm like, I know Frank. I know Frank. Everybody knows you.
I don't know if
I
that's
don't know
good
if it's
or
a good
bad.
thing or a bad thing.
You know,
I mean,
it's
there's a lot
probably
of
better
seedy
now.
bars in this town.
Yeah, there is. Oh my gosh, yeah. And by the way, every bar has a cigarette. I mean, every bar is a smoking bar in this town. Not that I don't nothing against smoking.
They're slowly going away, though.
Are they?
Yeah,
Okay.
they are.
I mean, if you like a nice cigarette and a shot and a beer, come to Coriopolis. I mean, you can bar crawl all night. I mean, they will hook you up.
They will.
There's a bubble over this place. They haven't gotten a notice. They haven't gotten anything in the mail.
Because you've taken a little bit of a left turn.
Yeah,
And
man.
we'll circle back around again after we do a little bit of a comfortable deep dive on you.
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of still connected. And we won't go way back when, but I've always been in the entertainment business, live entertainment, behind the scenes, talent management, talent booking, live events producer. Then, of course, California, which we'll get to, was, television producing. But, a lot of that also tied into social media, because behind the scenes, if you're going to be booking talent or promoting your brand or company or your entertainers, got to have social media.
Without a doubt.
Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram. There's TikTok for the young people, but they
TikTok,
say
yeah.
TikTok. I mean, gosh. So so I'm still into social media. I'm still trying to develop entertaining content, but not for live entertainers anymore. More for a health and wellness brand.
Okay.
So I'm in the health and wellness field. It's kind of a jump I took, a leap back in February. Or we're not dating this, but in early 2019, I took a jump. Left the entertainment industry amicably, got a nice offer from very good friends, people I had known in Los Angeles. So I've known these people for like 20-some years, and they kind of kept coming after me when they got in the health and wellness business, and asked if I could help with their social media, their branding, their ideas, and the creative side of it. And I kind of thought about it for a while, turned it down, thought about it for a while, and I said, you know what? I think I might like to take a try at this, but I have a good job now, and it's kind of what I'm making now. If you want to think about what an offer you want to make me or what I need to do to get out of here, I think I might take a dive. And they did. A couple of days later, they called and said, we want to go all in with you. And
it's amazing.
Yeah, it's called Trust Brothers CBD.
Trust Brothers CBD.
Yeah, this is not a commercial, obviously, but
Trust
Brothers CBD. They have gummy bears and CBD oil. A lot of people are hearing, you hear about CBD so much.
Yeah.
It's a health and wellness product.
Right.
And it's comes from the cannabis family. It's not marijuana. It's the hemp side of it. So it doesn't have THC in it. And ours has some of the legal stuff does have a little THC. It's called a full spectrum CBD.
Okay.
Ours is a broad spectrum CBD. It's kind of middle of the road. They have no THC. THC, tetrahydrocannabinol, whatever that fancy word is. THC is what you find. He's getting high. It's what you find in marijuana. The THC is what kind of gets you high. And medical marijuana and the marijuana business is gigantic right now. And they're pushing all that through.
No question.
And it helps people with a lot of pain. If it helps you with pain, great.
Right.
Some people don't like the high of that, though. But, with marijuana, you get high, you get relaxed, and some of the pain goes away.
Right.
With this, you don't get high. CBD, you don't get high, but it can still offer some of those great properties of helping with inflammation, anxiety, pain, sleep. It doesn't cure cancer. It's not going to cure anything. We don't claim that.
Right.
We're very proud of the product we offer. And so I got in the health and wellness business, and CBD's all over the place, man.
Well,
we drive down the streets, there's signs everywhere. Everybody's selling. You got to watch what you buy.
We're going to circle back around, and I want to conclude
good.
with that because I want you to educate me a little bit more on that product because I am, believe me when I tell you.
A lot of people need it.
I'm confused. I think I'm open to it, but like you said, you see a lot of strange signs on the side of the road next to the video rental store.
Yeah, we got First Blood 2 and CBD. I'm going, I'll take that and some popcorn. I mean, you're 17, but you want to sell me CBD. Would help my my gout. Yes, you got to watch what you're buying and who you're buying it from. We'll circle back.
I get it. Fair enough.
Yeah.
So, did the entertainment bug in you start when you were young?
It did. It did. As a kid growing up, I loved Johnny Carson. Begged my parents, Johnny Carson show, and then as I got older, into Letterman. So I loved the late night talk shows. Even after school, I would come home and watch the Mike Douglas show. And then when Mike retired, it was the John Davidson show. So it was like a talk show.
Davidson.
Yeah, it was a talk show after work.
Okay.
Did
you get into Merv?
I didn't do much Merv, but I know of Merv. He's a legend. Merv Swerve. And so I loved entertainment. I loved the host. I loved the comedians. I knew right away that either I wanted to be involved somehow.
Okay.
And I think as a young kid, I wanted to be a performer. I either wanted to host something, but comedy is what really drove me. I really loved comedians. Right. I loved comedy. I had all the comedy albums as a kid, Richard Pryor, all the dirty ones, and
the
good
ones.
Yeah, the good ones. And so I knew I was kind of driven to be in that somehow. When you somehow in the entertainment business. And, so you get out of high school, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. I think I knew what I wanted to do, but maybe didn't have the guts to do it or know how to do it, to maybe be a performer, or didn't want to take that leap. It's, it's hard.
Right.
The odds are small, too. But I was tending bar at the Benham Center for the Performing Arts. Used to be the Stanley Theater. I was the bartender, one of the bartenders, the day they opened. It was September 1987 when they opened. And then I was very fortunate, a couple months in 1987, as a friend of mine, or not a friend of mine, a new bartender was hired. We became friends. All of a sudden, he knows this guy named David Settlemeyer, And he goes, I got to meet my buddy Dave. He does this part-time stuff. He works in the entertainment business, so we can use you part-time to do some stuff. And deal blackjack at these mock casino parties. So I just start doing these mock casino parties. I'm doing blackjack, craps, roulette. It was great. I learned all the casino games.
Okay.
It's for play money, mock charity events.
Fundraiser stuff, right?
Yeah, a guy named David Settlemeyer. Then he was with a company, which I won't name, but then he broke away and started his own company called Talent Network. Started a company and started to hire some people and brought me on board. Just kind of taught me from scratch, kind of be like a booking agent.
Okay.
Cold calling. Hey, you want to book a comedian? You want to book a band? Call colleges, call agencies, and kind of grew together. So I was in the entertainment industry, kind of, and we had Jimmy Crenn, Frank Nicotero. He had a lot of good people back then he was working with, as they were coming up.
Right.
Jimmy was young, Frank Nicotero was Billy Elmer when Billy was coming up. A lot of Pittsburgh comedians, if you know them. So it was great. I was there for about 6-7 years, and became friends with some of the people. And one of their comedians, Frank Nicotero, who's one of my great friends, he moved to California
Funny
back
guy.
in. Yeah, his brother, Frank, his cousin is Greg Nicotero. If you watch The Walking Dead or any zombie movie, Greg, his company creates all the zombies. Executive producer. He's a director. So Greg's like he's like a sci-fi gore blood legend. So Frank moves to California. I'm like, okay, whatever. It's a winter here. The cold winters of Pittsburgh. And we're going to feel that,
yes, we do.
For
we're
5 months.
Entering it. Yes,
5 months. And
yes.
So I took a vacation, from Talent Network. I said, I'm going to go to California, hang out with Frank for a couple weeks, and get some sunshine. It was great. I went out there for like 3 weeks in February. And great time. Hung out with Greg Nicotero, other people, met this and that, Hollywood.
In L.A.?
In L.A., yeah.
In L.A.
In L.A.
Yeah.
First time I was ever there.
Yeah.
First time I was ever there. Yeah. And had a great time. And a really good time, because then when I got back from vacation, I told people at Talent Network, I said, hey, Dave, I think about quitting my job and moving to California. And he goes, wait, you just went on vacation. What do you mean? What happened? He goes, first, tell me the story. He goes, what did I miss? What happened in California that was so good that you're moving? And you kind of get the itch. It's like, you know what? There's an opportunity. I know kind of some people out there. Frank Nicotero, one of my good friends from high school, was out there, and so what the heck? I'm going to take a jump. So I gave him like a 3-month notice. I didn't just leave him right there. But he was a great guy, and we're great friends. He goes, go for it. Spread our name. Help Frank Nicotero. Help. Maybe you can do some agency stuff out there. Whatever. It was great. So I moved to California, and it was no job, and just did a little bartending for a while, and then actually because of Frank Nicotero and Greg Nicotero, I worked with Greg's special effects company, K&B Effects. I was Greg Nicotero's personal assistant. I don't know, for like half a year, something like that. Yeah, it's great. And working at the zombie shop, seeing how they make zombies, and they were gracious enough to put me in a couple zombie movies. I was
and what are the titles?
House on Haunted Hill, and with Ali Larder. I was coming out of the ground and had to grab her. And it's funny because
we gotta look for that.
Yeah, it's in the DVDs because of deleted scenes. I guess it wasn't that good. But we were all buried in sand. We had a full zombie suit, and you have to come out of ground. And you're like reaching at her, and she was very clear. Nobody better touch any wrong parts. I mean, I'm like, oh, well, there's a tit. There's a boob. I'm sorry. I mean, we're just 6 zombies coming out of a sand. She's not going to know who it is. And it's dark, and there's a lot of music and scream. It's part of the scene, too. And cut! I'm going, oh, no. Cut. I didn't admit to it, but we all got a lot of crap about that. But
really?
Yeah, but it's pretty cool. They actually pour a mold on your head to mold the exact zombie suit to you. And the head, like if you see a lot of monsters and people with makeup, they have to pour a mold on your head.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so they'll put like 2 straws in your nose, and so you can breathe. And they completely cover your head, and it turns like into plaster. You take it off, so it's like half hour or so. You're just like breathing through straws.
That's crazy.
Great experience. Great experience. But then finally, hanging out with Frank Nicotero, he was doing some writing, some comedy, and he got a job writing for a game show pilot. He says, there's this new pilot coming out. He goes, Murgia, I'll try to get you a job. I guess, good, get me a job. I'll take it. So I did some work on a show called Outrageous. It was like a game show, out in the streets, get people to do stupid stuff, try to trick them into doing stuff. And got a job as a production assistant. If you know anything about California, production assistant's like the low man on the totem pole. But it's kind of how you start. Go get the coffee. Go sweep the floors, whatever, pay $350 a week. $350 a week. I don't know how I made it there more than a week. I don't know how
Sleeping
I lived.
on couches, or what were you doing?
I did. I just bunked with couches, roommates, whatever you can do.
Right.
Split the
it's
rent.
Pretty common out there, though, right?
Ice cubes in my water. It's good. It was great. And that was really how I got my entry into television production. Okay. Got a little job, and then this company, that show actually sold. Went on for 1 season, was syndicated, got to learn all the ins and outs of television producing behind the scenes. And then the show didn't get picked up, but that company who produced it, everybody's pitching a show out there. Everybody has stuff.
A treatment, right?
Oh, yeah. Put a treatment out there. And they had another show. They hired me. They liked my work ethic. And they said, people from Pittsburgh have really good work ethic.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's a little, you go out there and you hustle. You're used to working every day. And So they kept hiring me for more shows that they were doing and elevating me up the ladder of producer, coordinating producer, production field director, field producer, whatever. And it's kept going up. And then so I'm climbing a ladder and the money's becoming better. So California was great. I mean, I'm in Hollywood. I'm in my 30s. We're going out every night. Great times. I mean, it's quite a scene.
Sounds like a tough life.
Yeah, real tough life. But the work was hard. When you work on a television show,
right?
I mean, so when you're on, you might only work like 2 months, 10 weeks, 3 months, because you do the show, you get them all recorded, and then they go up, and then you're done. You're off. Now, most of the time, you don't know if the show's coming back. A lot of the time, you're doing a pilot. It's not a recurring show. So then you're out of work again. You got to go look for a new job. So it's weird because Pittsburgh, you have a job for 7, 8, 10, 12, 15 all years, all your life. Then you go out there and you're bouncing around. You're working with 30, 40 people. 3 months later, you barely see them again. You got another job, another 30 people. And you got to watch because I'm used to always having a job. I think a lot of people in Pittsburgh are. But there's times out there, sometimes I was unemployed for 3 months straight.
Right.
Maybe the show didn't get picked up or it was the timing too.
So budgeting was an important thing.
You couldn't go on a lot of vacations. You couldn't party too hard because your phone would ring and you got to go for a job. But then I was also lucky enough, with Frank Murgia to work on a show called Street Smarts.
Right.
It's actually that one came around when I was working with Greg as his personal assistant. A game show called Street Smarts. Frank Murgia was the host. His first big gig, too.
Okay.
Pittsburgh guy. He's the host of the show, and he got me a job we were just doing the pilot. There was one guy, and me and Frank Murgia had to help create and figure out the show.
Right.
I mean, the executive producer, of course, handles the most of it, but we had to create props, do run-throughs, write questions. They even sent us to Texas. You go to Texas to the Texas Fair in Abilene, Texas. And we went down there. We're interviewing people in the mud, and I'm with a camera crew, and I'm going, this is great.
Yeah.
I go, I'm doing Hollywood. I'm kind of producing. Yeah. And like I said, I always wanted to kind of maybe be a performer, but that was enough to satisfy my taste. Because I had taken some acting classes out there and stuff like that. But the money was coming in. As a producer, I go, well, I have jobs and I have money. Right. I'm just going to keep going that path.
Okay.
Because acting's hard. And it's a commitment. And
very competitive.
It's competitive. I mean, it's a crapshoot. I mean, so we did Street Smarts for a bunch of years, got some good producing gigs, and it was great. And really, you bounce around to jobs. I worked for MTV. That was great.
I bet.
I mean, MTV in Los Angeles. I mean, I'm very fortunate.
In that era, too. Very hot times.
Yeah. I mean, all the shows like Date My Mom and Pimp My Ride. And back then, I worked on a show called Parental Control.
Okay.
It was a dating show. Like parents would set their kids up with dates. It ran for like 5 or 6 years.
Really? That's what the premise of the show was?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, their parents would kind of pick the dates up, and then we'd videotape the date, and the parents would kind of watch it on a TV screen and critique.
Nothing could go wrong there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I worked on a pilot for that, and it was great. I didn't do all 5 years, but that was actually right before I'd moved back. But during that time, and I say I moved back from California, and a quick story though. You get to Hollywood. Hollywood's hopping every night. All kind of LA. It's great. I mean, you see some celebrities, and a good friend of mine, I don't know if I mentioned his name, Rick Scoff. He's out there. He's a Montour guy, high school guy. I roomed with him for a bunch of years, but he's good friends with like Michael Bay, director Michael Bay, Jerry Bruckheimer, and my friends would always come out and we go hang out with Michael Bay.
That's
and Jerry
pretty
Bruckheimer.
cool.
Oh, that was great. And Michael was a nice guy, but it's funny because after I left California, and I hung out with a guy numerous amount of times, been to his house, blah, blah, blah. So I go back probably 2 years after I went back to visit, after I'd moved back. I call my buddy Rick. He's, we're going out with Michael tonight. Come on, we'll go hang out. We'll go to his house and we'll go to a bar. Michael has no idea who I am. I mean, no idea that he ever met me. I mean, 7 years.
Was he big timing you? Or was
no, I didn't make an impression, I'm sure.
Well, he would have a logical excuse.
Yeah.
He'd say, I meet so many people from day in, day out.
Yeah, maybe. But
he might have been big timing you.
Yeah, but it was cool. It was nice to see. You see celebrities. You see people you see on TV. And then it's nice to produce a show, one of the producers, and you see it go on TV. Absolutely. And you see your name in the credits. And your parents and your family's cool. Well, it was going up so fast, we'll freeze the VHS tape. Oh my God, there's my son's name. But it is nice, to see stuff like that. And
it's a little surreal, probably the first time, huh?
It was. But I loved it. I loved it, worked hard at it, and I got to every single position as a television producer, all the way up to executive producer.
Right.
So over my years, I got to do each one. And In 2005, though, I was out of work. A friend of mine who I worked with at MTV, she's producing a pilot for Tom Arnold. Got a Tom Arnold pilot. We're going to try to put it up.
It's Roseanne's husband, right?
Yeah, Roseanne's husband. Try to figure it out. Ex-husband, yeah.
Okay, ex-husband.
Yeah. Yeah, so 2005, I'm doing this pilot, and then my mom calls me. I get the job like one day, and then she calls me like a day later. Hey, did you hear there's a show coming to ESPN's coming to Pittsburgh to do a show, a football show at Montour High School? I go, and I went to Montour High School, Montour High School graduate. I go, what are you talking about? How do you know about a show coming to Pittsburgh? I don't know about a show coming to. I'm in LA. I go, yeah. I go, send me this article. So I get the article, and I look up the production company, and I track down the production company. It's the same company I just got hired by. I mean, different
what are
department.
the odds of that? Yeah.
What are the odds? I'm going,
right.
This is the company I'm doing the Tom Arnold thing with my good friend Kathy Cotter. I mean, she would hire for me. So I got to go. I go to Kathy. I go, hey, I got to talk to you. I mean, I would love to do this show in Pittsburgh. I don't know if I can get hired for it, but can I go like even maybe interview for it? She's like, what are you talking about? I go, I just hired you. I need you. I hired you for everything. You are not going anywhere. I'm going, oh, darn it. So I called anyway. I called this guy. Hey, listen, I heard you're doing a show. Would you want to meet with me? And he goes, I think we kind of have all of our crew. We're leaving in a couple of days, but come on down and meet with me. A guy named Clay Newbill. Clay Newbill is he's one of the executive producers on Shark Tank.
Okay.
So if you watch Shark Tank every week, you'll see right at the beginning Clay Newbill. So he was the producer on this show. And I met with him, had a great talk. He goes, Frank, I'd love to hire you, but we're leaving in like 3 days. And all the crew's hired. He goes, I'm sorry we didn't meet earlier, but maybe we can work together again on something else. I go, okay. So I didn't mention it to Kathy that I even interviewed because nothing's going on. So I get home, a couple hours later, I get home, Clay's on the phone. He goes, hey, listen, we really enjoyed your talk. We had a thought, and we can move some things around. We'd like to bring you to Pittsburgh with it. We think it'd be a value to have a guy from his hometown on the crew.
Sure.
I'm going, oh my God. I go, that's fantastic. It was a lower level producing job. It was below what I was doing, but I didn't care. You come home, it's great at your own high school. So I had to go tell Kathy, and she was upset, but she let me go. She goes, I understand. She goes, you're my good friend. Go to Pittsburgh. It'll be fun. So I got out of the Tom Arnold deal. I came to Pittsburgh 2005, 3 months.
Right.
They hired Dick Butkus, legendary linebacker of the Chicago Bears. Dick Butkus. He's going to coach those pathetic Montour Spartans. They haven't had a win in I don't know how many years. They're doing good now, but the Montour.
Were they really bad at that time?
They were bad. Yeah, they were terrible. They weren't winning. I don't think they had any wins for a couple of years, maybe one or none.
Okay.
And so and they had just hired a new head coach, but that year, a good head coach, Coach Lucero. But then they brought Dick Butkus in the first year. This guy, move aside, coach. We're bringing Dick in. We're going to film. We're going to bring these little pricks to Bound for Glory. It was called. They were bound for garbage. They didn't. I'm serious. They were bound.
Right?
Yeah, they didn't. 0 wins. They didn't have any wins the whole year. Actually,
really?
The show actually cut loose because they never won and it sucked. And Butkus was disgruntled. He was like, this sucks. These kids aren't winning. They don't listen to me. They didn't know who Dick Butkus was.
Well, there's probably a big generational gap there, right?
All the parents go, oh my God, Dick Butkus. Kids are going, who?
Yeah.
No idea.
Right.
No idea.
Right.
So the show actually, with a couple of episodes ago, they canceled it. They didn't cancel it, but the production crew left. But they left me behind. They said, Frank, you stay behind for the final 2 weeks. Here's a camera, and just kind of film some footage of the games, just so we have it to fill the final 2 episodes we have to commit to. Yeah, so I got to stay back. I was the only one left. I go, just shoot some footage of the games. They go, the show's not coming back, and they just need to fill the final 2 episodes. And
wow.
But home for 3 months. People think you're Spielberg. You're walking through the stands. And I mean,
very cool.
And I never sold it that way. I go, no, I'm just kind of like a low producer it was really nice. People kind of looked at me like, oh my God, Frank Murgia's back from Hollywood, California.
It's a homecoming of some degree.
Homecoming, yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, it's kind of weird. And some of the new stadiums had picked up, and Pittsburgh was starting to clean up and get better.
Hey, you were gone for the construction of the two new stadiums, right?
Oh yeah, I was gone. The stadiums were built while I was in California, and but I fell in love with Pittsburgh again. And it was nice to be with family and friends, and I like how Pittsburgh had started to grow and flourished. And so I even said to myself, like, you know what? I was here for 3 months. That was like great, because I would only come home for Christmas.
Okay.
10 years, once a month. Come home for a couple of weeks.
Sure.
Stupid, but you got to watch. You can't leave LA too much, because when you're not working, It's the day you go away that the phone will ring. Hey, we got a job. Can you come in and start tomorrow? Or could you come in and interview today? It's like, oh my gosh. And again, if you're going to be unemployed and freelancing, you don't want to miss jobs because they pay well when you have them.
No question.
Pay well when you have them. But so I came home and I fell in love with Pittsburgh, and I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to give it one more year in California, or one more year out here. See what happens. If I can get a good job or a network job, I'm going to stick it out. But if not, I'm coming back to Pittsburgh. I didn't tell anybody, just said it to myself. And I stuck to it. And I bounced around and nothing really big had hit. A show I was out there pitching TV shows. I thought I was all cool. Pitching TV shows now. Mr. Producer. I get a call from somebody. Hey, man, I want to know if you're available. There's this new show there's going to be starting. And it's just a pilot right now. No one's even bought it. It's about, we're going to get a bunch of people who are overweight and they're going to put them through this stuff and try to get them lose weight, and you have a competition. I'm going, that sounds like a terrible idea. My idea,
is that what you actually said?
No, I didn't. But I hung up. I go, I'm kind of pitching my own shows right now. I'm just smelling my own. So,
yeah. Like, you weren't open-minded to any other ideas.
Oh, yeah. I got too full of myself. And then it ended up being this show. They did the pilot. Show got sold. NBC picked it up, and it was The Biggest Loser.
Right.
The Biggest Loser, which went on for like 10 years.
Right.
And all I wanted was a network show. Because then your network show, the job's coming back. You'll shoot a bunch of shows. They'll go on hiatus, but it's going to come back.
Right.
And you have a job again. Then you can take a vacation, not have to worry about not having a job or freelancing.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one of the big regrets. But you don't know. It's just a show that hasn't been built, created, or even shopped.
Right.
So you kind of take those chances, and it became The Biggest Loser. But bounced around in the infomercial world. It's funny, the people I did infomercials with.
When it was still relevant then.
Yeah, when it was still relevant. Billy Blanks, all the hot infomercials and stuff like that. People were, Billy Mays, Pittsburgh guy.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And then got involved with that a little bit. With the people that were producing the infomercials are the people I work for now. I know we're going to circle back to that.
Wow.
But yeah, they actually, it's the people I met 20 years ago, got out of the TV business, got into the health and wellness business, tracked me down, and we're still
amazing.
Yeah, so that's kind of a full circle thing. But yeah, so I just moved home. My mom didn't believe it. She goes, "You're not moving home." I go, "Don't you want me to move home?" I go, "Moving home." She goes, "You're not." He goes, "You're not moving home." So I just started shipping loaded boxes up. UPS shipping. They're being delivered to my mom in big boxes. They're going, "We keep getting boxes like every other day." I go, "I know. I'm sending everything back." I go, "I'm coming back." So they put it in the garage, and 10 years. I did 10 years. I always say I did 10 years in LA County, not the jail, but 10 years in LA County, which was great, and it was great. I did a 10-year California run,
though, right?
Completely, but it was good for me. There's the New York culture, and nothing against that, and there's the California culture. I'm more of a California culture.
Yeah.
New York, you're up all night. It's go, go, go. I like it a little more relaxed. Sunshine. You ride the bike on the beach and do that. People are really low key, nothing too high pressure.
A little smog once in a while.
Yeah, a little smog. Yeah, but it was great. So I can't complain. I got 10 years in Hollywood as a producer. Hung out with some celebrities, then got to come back to my hometown. But then I came back, just like I went to LA. I didn't have a job.
Right.
So I come to Pittsburgh. I'm going, I don't have a job. I go, I don't know. I'll figure it out.
I'll figure it out. This is 2007. 2007.
Yeah, right in the early 2007.
Okay.
Came back, and then I went and visited the people at Talent Network. The job I had left, and we always remained friends, kept in touch. And they came and visited. The boys, the girls, everybody from the office, they always came to L.A., visit. We'd hang out, party, have the greatest times, and go to Vegas and all that stuff. It was great, but I just went down there, and it was funny. I went back to the office in Talent Network, and I thought I was in a time capsule. I go, was I gone for 10 years? The exact same people in the exact same chairs. The only different thing was my old chair was someone else is sitting in it. And I'm just kind of hanging out, big hugs, what are you doing, blah, blah, blah. I go, I'm just going to hang out for a little bit and just chill. And so I'm kind of listening in. They're on the phone calls. They're booking entertainers and doing this. It's like, oh my God, they're booking the same people, from when I left 10 years ago. Right. It's kind of, things don't really change.
That's Pittsburgh, though.
It's Pittsburgh. The town grew, but the people don't change. The things don't change. I go, this is weird, man. It's like I never left. So I just kept hanging out. I was like Kramer. I just kept coming into the office where he would go to a job and he doesn't really work there. I'm drawing a check, but he showed up every day.
He's trying to get ahead.
Yeah, so I went to Talent Network a couple of days just to hang out. I had nothing to do. I got to give a computer here. Gonna play around. I don't have a computer. I did. I sent it back. It's funny. I have a laptop I sent back. It was, Seal, the singer Seal.
Oh, yeah.
My friend of mine was friends with Seal and Heidi Klum when they were married. And, as a celebrity, people send you stuff for free all the time.
No question.
Apple, this,
Yeah,
that.
I learned that. It's amazing.
They get everything
Jewelry,
for free.
Clothing, the whole bit.
So I'd say, hey, before I move back to Pittsburgh, I'll pick up a little laptop. And he says, I got a laptop. I got Seal's laptop. He goes, here's a MacBook. Seal doesn't want it. He doesn't use it anymore. I bought Seal's laptops. That was always the running thing. I go, this is Seal's laptop. And it was black. No offense, but it was a black laptop. I mean, but it was interesting. Yeah, so I still have it. It doesn't work anymore, but I have it. I go, this was Seal's. It's like George Costanza. Maybe I got John Voight's car. This is John Voight. I don't even know what it was, but that. And I'm starting to think, that might not be the real Seal.
That might not be Seal's laptop.
Yeah, it is. So I came back to Talent Network. I was hanging out, and he go, "Are you going to come in every day?" I go, "Oh no, I'm just using a computer." I go,
I'm just bored out of my mind.
"Well, you going to get a job?" I go, "I got to figure out what I want to do." I go, "I don't know what I want to do." I mean, well, why don't you go work for the local TV? I go, "It's not the same." I go, "Nothing against that. Produce local television." I go,
Right.
"I was producing like bigger things, and maybe that was the wrong attitude, but I didn't want to." Then just come do local news or something or TV. Though I did try. I did try to apply and try to get into that. But I go, you know what? I want to do something different again.
Right.
Another pivot. I guess I want to pivot again. He goes, well, listen, I can't bring you back. He goes, your job's already been filled here because there's this thing called a website. I go, I know what a website is. He goes, well, we finally have one here at Talent Network. Go take a look at it because I think it's crappy. It's our first website.
That's an honest assessment, though.
It was. He goes, it's real. He goes, it could probably be better. He goes, you could probably have some creative ideas. He goes, just find somebody that builds websites. If you can read, I'll pay you a little bit of freelance money, oversee the project, get the website done. I go, that's something to do. Great. So I'm looking around in a penny saver. I put an ad for a website builder. The penny saver. Yeah. I'm old. It's gray. It's gray, folks. It's gray. It's gray. I stopped dyeing it. It's getting long too. I'm growing my hair out. No mustache, but I'm growing my hair out. And so I respond to an ad in a penny saver. Come on down to my office, come and meet, and show you about what I do for websites. So I go down to meet this guy.
Okay.
Go meet with him in this little small place in downtown Coriopolis. Little office.
In Coriopolis?
Yep, in Coriopolis. In Coriopolis, yeah. So I go meet with him, and it's funny because the place I met with him and the office I met with him is this studio.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. This studio, it didn't look like this, believe me. This guy had a TV and a MS-DOS computer. I bought a website off him. Yeah, this space, as I walk in, I'm walking down the hall, I go, it's on the right. Halfway down, I'm going, this is, okay. When I moved back to Pittsburgh, I came in this office.
Yeah, so what are the odds of that?
That's the odds. I'm actually here where I started my new pivot when I moved back to Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm. I kind of remember him being down here, actually.
Yeah, a design studio. They're out in Beaver now, but a guy just renting an office, trying to put a business together. And so my the next pivot in my life kind of happened here. And here I am,
Totally insane.
So I started to do a website. It turned out great. And David Sotomayor up there at Talent Network goes, hey, listen, I got Marchetti, I got Jimmy Crenn, I got Frank Nicotero. We got all these people. Mm-hmm. They need websites. He goes, if you want to oversee that, I'll just pay you per job. Still kind of freelancing. Okay. He goes, okay. So I'm going, okay, I'm going to come in every day. And so I'm starting to just come in every day and working on these things. And then, Facebook was starting to become more popular. Then there's Twitter.
YouTube, right?
YouTube was very, very big. And it's like, hey, these entertainers should have a YouTube channel, should have a Facebook channel. And he goes, yeah, you're right. I agree. He goes, listen, let's bring you back. Bring you back on board here. Bring you back.
Freelance.
No more freelance. Bring back team. Let's get everybody up and running. We got to get a social media presence, an internet presence.
Sure.
So I had a new career. I decided I didn't know anything about it. I just had to learn social media, because it was new back then. But you kind of just dig in and learn, and try not to make mistakes that happen. So I created myself a job again at Talent Network. So I came full circle, and it's been great. I was there 7 years.
Wow.
7 years, great people, great friends. The entertainment business, and I'm still working in entertainment. I always wanted to be a performer, but behind the scenes was good enough for me too. Because I still got to do a little performing here and there. I do some MC work and stuff like that.
You do a lot of MC work, and that's where you really came back on my radar because of the MC work that you did, and it seemed like you were a lot of it.
I was doing a lot of it. Yeah. I don't do as much now. It wore me out, but it also was like I kind of did it, and it's because it was something I wanted to do, and I do it every now and then, but I don't know if I have the exact joy. I don't have the the want to do it as much.
You have to be on, right?
You got to be on, and you got to prepare. People, oh, you're so good at doing it. I go, I don't just walk up there and do it. Right. I mean, there's notes, there's scripts, and you're sizing your script and names, and there's work involved. And,
sure.
But I love doing a lot of events for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. Ring announcing. Boxing,
I want
MMA.
to talk about that.
Oh, my God.
So how did that? Where was the turn to that? Did you have that before?
No. Back in 2010, I think I started doing hosting the Cystic Fibrosis, hosting events, live event host. Go up and introduce people and host a night. And it was good. It satisfied my need or urge to want to be on camera or on stage as a performer. Because I always kind of wanted to be a performer, but I was always led behind the scenes, and I was happy with that. Because I think I did pretty good at it behind the scenes. Did a good job, tried my hardest, and that was good. So, I was doing these events, and a good friend of ours from West Virginia who knows Dave Sedemeyer, this person, that person, he was involved with Roy Jones Jr. Remember Roy Jones Jr.? Oh,
absolutely.
Great boxing legend and champion.
Watched a lot of his fights.
Yeah, and Roy was still fighting, and he's still fighting now, which he shouldn't be. But he had a promotion company, Roy Jones Jr. Presents.
Okay.
And he were doing a lot of matches in West Virginia and Pittsburgh, because he had ties up here with these people I knew. So I got to meet some of the people involved, and they were having a match coming up, and I said, you know what? I want to be a ring announcer.
Out of the blue?
Out of the blue, I go, I think I can do that. I think, because I was comfortable on stage. I am. Absolutely. I will say that.
Yeah.
I'm very comfortable on stage.
Right.
I can get in front of 5,000. I don't care. I don't even notice how many people out there. As long as you know your material and what you're talking about, of course, that makes it a lot easier.
Naturally.
I mean, it is. You're nervous because you're nervous in yourself.
Right.
You're lacking confidence in what you're about to do up there and deliver. Right. So that didn't bother me. I go, I want to be, because I love sports. I love sports. And Roy Jones, I go, I want to be a boxer. So I called the guy I knew who was involved in the promotion. I go, hey man, you got that match coming up. You think I can ring announce that? He goes, you ever ring announce? I go, no. He goes, okay, you can do it. I go, what? He goes, he goes, yeah, you're in.
I go, well,
should I come down? I should give you like a little tape together. He goes, no, you're doing it. Just don't screw it up. I go, yes.
So what was the preparation for that?
Yeah, I'm all over YouTube. Jimmy Lennon, Michael Buffer. I'm watching all of these boxing matches.
Okay.
What's the order of there's an order. You have to announce the height, the weight, what Jimmy's fighting out of, all that stuff. And then when you announce the scores, that's always hard. That has to be in an order. You can't reveal the winner. So I'm just grinding it all down, and I think my first event was at Stage AE for a boxing match. And, I've done Rivers Casino, Mountaineer Casino. Right. And I didn't screw it up. Didn't screw it up. It was great.
Yeah.
It's like, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Eric McKenna Show.
You're hired.
You're hired.
That was good.
So it was just, I go, hey, I'm a ham. I like to be on stage. I like a microphone, if you know me. I'm one of those guys that I like attention, and then I hate attention. I like social media.
Swells, right?
Then I can't stand social media. I'm nuts. I'm crazy like that. It's like I'll disappear off of social media, and then all of a sudden I'll appear. I'm appearing again. But
yeah, we'll get into that.
You get tired of it. I've had a good time. I've been able to satisfy an itch to perform. I'm not an actor. I'm not a comedian.
Right.
But I get to be on the microphone.
You do some comedy, right?
Yeah, it's funny. I tried comedy many years ago before
I remember
because we work with Jimmy Crenn and
Sure.
Elmer. So they always just go up and be the MC. Go up, you're going to do 2 minutes. Just loosen the crowd up, then you'll bring the next guy up. Just to warm, because real comedians.
So
don't
you
want to
have
go
a little
out
bit of material. You had to have a little material there.
Had to have, and I don't know what it was, but I had to write some material, and it was terrible. And it's hard. You get up there and you bomb, and I knew right away. I go, nope, don't want to do it. I go, it's hard. It's a real commitment, and I don't want to make a fool of myself, and I don't want to be insulting to people who are really working to do it.
Got it.
I go, unless I want to put the time, and I go, I have other things to do. I'm not going to do it anymore. So but I'm on the microphone, and last summer I was in a play, a play, which was great.
Yeah,
I don't know if you know that.
Yeah,
I do.
About
the Gaslight Cafe.
Gaslight Cafe.
There's a bunch of great people in Pittsburgh. Have a script, and they put a team together called 116 McDougal. 116 McDougal is the
production house, or what is that?
That's the address of the Gaslight Cafe in a village in New York. Gaslight Cafe was home to many legends, beatniks back in the day.
Right,
a lot of the beatniks. Bob Dylan played there. If you watch The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, it's a show on Amazon. It's won Emmys. a lot of it is based in the Gaslight.
Like Tim Buckley?
Huh?
Tim Buckley, I think, was one of the performers in that era back there.
Yeah.
Along with
think
Dylan,
so.
I think.
Yeah, I mean, Woody Guthrie, Dylan.
Yeah. Yep.
So it was poetry, it was music, it was comedy. It came into a bunch of different things. So I'm actually in the movie. There's going to be a movie they're putting together called 116 McDougal.
Right.
And it's about a guy named John Mitchell from Dormont who moved to New York, and he became the owner of the Gaslight Cafe. He was running a Gaslight, Mitchell. But he was always up to no good, and the police and the cops and the mayor are always after him. I play the mayor of New York. I play the Robert Ferdinand Wagner was his name back in the 50s there. So I'm playing the mayor of New York in this movie. Hey, a couple lines. It's great. But while they're waiting to get the movie up and running, they had an opportunity this summer to do it as a play. Kind of as a one-off at the Hazlitt Theater. And it's a kind of a play, a musical play, because there's so they have everybody replicate. There's somebody who plays Bob Dylan, somebody who plays Woody Guthrie.
How different is doing that type of acting as opposed to behind the film, behind the camera?
Well, a lot more pressure. I mean, especially on stage, it's even you can't do another take. All your takes, you have to mess up your takes in rehearsals.
That's called live.
It's called live. Even if you're filming a TV show. Or
Did you enjoy that?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I didn't have a lot of lines. A lot of people had a lot more work than I did. I nailed my lines. I worked at it. Hey, if you only have one line, be the best at that one line. I had two lines. I had to be the best at two lines. So I loved it. I loved the people were so good. Watching the experience of the real actors who had the big lines, the heavy lines, the leads. Amazing to watch these people work. It's like, ooh, it's such a craft. It's hard. Acting is hard. Having that kind of talent is hard. You see these people on TV, it looks so easy. It's a lot to remember. A lot. I mean, it's a lot of stuff to do. So I grew a great appreciation for that, and I'm waiting for the movie. Hopefully it'll be done, and I'll have a role in a movie next year, and it'll be great.
So motion picture actors, your experience based in LA, that skill set is one thing, but not a lot of them can transition to the stage. Some do very effectively, but would you say not all of them can? Is that correct?
I agree. Yeah, again, I'm just from my opinion, because you'll even see on some of these award shows, these people get up there, they can't even read the teleprompter. I mean, they're just either used to memorizing lines or having another chance to do it.
Right.
Going up and doing it live is different. I mean, you're wired differently, you're trained differently, you can pick it up differently, you can do it. It is different. Not everybody can do live and on camera, motion pictures or TV.
Yeah.
You'll notice a lot of times people. You'll see some of these actors like at an award show. They go, they can't read 3 lines off a teleprompter. It's right in front of them.
They look uncomfortable. A lot of them.
What? Oh,
they look uncomfortable.
They do. They're used to memorizing their lines, or at least they're going to have a couple takes,
or having them thrown out to them,
and it happens. There's some terrible actors that are getting lines thrown to them. But
well, I only know that because when the musicians have to do a small role in any commercial or a movie, they're not actors, so everything had to be thrown to them. Which is so awkward to watch from afar.
Yeah, you're right.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff. But
you I could see where you really would enjoy the live acting based upon your personality.
I do. There was a thrill to doing it live right there. I mean, because it's a lot of pressure on you. You can't screw it up, and that's a good challenge. And it just makes you're stronger. Your brain. It's like taking your brain to the gym. It's like, I have to memorize this. Okay. I have to memorize this character, where it's coming from, who it's talking to, why it's there. And again, only if it's 1 or 2 lines, you do it, and you do it the best you can. So it was a great challenge. And you would think, 2 lines. 2 lines is sometimes hard to memorize when you're not a trained actor and your brain isn't trained, your memory isn't trained to learn how to do that. So I have great respect for those people. But I do like live, because I like live ring announcing, live MC.
Right.
I like live. I like the challenge of getting out there without a net.
Have you ever thought about wanting to be part of a movie, maybe a Hollywood movie filmed here? Have you ever wanted to get involved with something like that?
And a lot of them have come here, and movie and TVs are different. I was a producer on television,
right?
And there's producers on, the jobs on film are different than TV.
In what ways? Generally speaking.
Well, a producer on TV, you're a coordinator, organizer. You have different levels of producers of who you oversee and all the moving parts behind the scenes. Producers on movies, they're the money people. They're bringing the money together, the talent together. They're not doing the same thing. They're not overseeing a team of props or overseeing a team of make sure the cameras get there. That's the line producer and stuff. So
they're looking at budgets more than the TV producer would be.
Exactly. More the money end. And so my work didn't translate too much into motion pictures here. I would have had to do more of the
business side of it.
Well, no, which I wasn't really good at because I didn't do that for TV. But to make the kind of money and have a good job in it, that would be that side of it. And otherwise, I'd be,
Is the Pittsburgh Film Commission still in effect? Is that still a thing?
Yeah, it's still a thing. Pittsburgh Film Office.
It's trending for a while there because there seemed to be.
They had a good buzz. I can't comment on it too much because they had a good run. And I know there's this whole thing about a tax credit. They'll give these companies a tax credit to come and film here. Mm-hmm. And I know there's been some back and forth over that. And movies were coming here, but they bounce around. Vancouver, Carolina, Atlanta. A lot of these places find these places with a good tax credit, and all of a sudden they all flock there. And it kind of has its bounce for 2 or 3 years.
Vancouver seems to get a lot of television work.
Very much so. They can get everybody out from California, shoot them straight up the coast, and
it has to be obviously a tax advantage there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, but it was okay. It was great. So I got to do a little bit of the movie stuff, and then Talent Network was. It's great. Great people. Mm-hmm. David Settlemeyer, my longtime great friend. All the same people work there. It's amazing. 15, 20, 20 people.
Yeah, loyalty speaks to organization.
Dave, that's why David's the greatest.
Right.
He's loyal to his people. And it's like home. It's like, I went back there. It's home. And,
right.
And we got into podcasting.
That's where I was heading next.
That's where you want to go. We got
a little bit about Pittsburgh Podcast.
Yeah, the Pittsburgh Podcast Network. I started, social media. And then I said, well, how about this podcasting
What was your first exposure to podcasting?
Well, it was... I got to tell you, I'm trying to think if it was an Adam Carolla podcast or what my first kind of. I should be able to tell you that, kind of like what were the first podcasts that I got into it, and there was some. I don't know. I think it was Carolla because Carolla was one of the first ones doing it, and he was on LA radio at the time, so I remember him, and he transitioned,
right?
And I think it was through him. But I go, this is kind of interesting. So as we're trying to grow social media presence, I said, Dave, how about a podcast? It's kind of an audio presence. I go. He goes, well, let's give it a try. Just buy, put a little bit of money into some equipment and give us something to do. It might be another way to expand our brand, expand our entertainers. So, yeah, it was 2009, late 2009, I think I started with Craig Wolfley.
Yeah, so you were an early adopter. Was
yeah,
anyone in town doing anything here?
Yeah, there was a couple people in town. Even like 6-7 years before me, probably. A guy named Mike Sorg.
Okay.
Mike and Missy Sorg. Great company. They run Sorgatron Media. He's like the Podfather, they call him.
The Podfather.
Mike's been doing it for 15, 20 years. It seems like he's still doing it today. So
he
was really the first one, but we were really one. They called it a network of the Pittsburgh Podcast. And I go, that name's available. That's a pretty good name. Let's just call it that.
It's a great name.
We built into that. But I just started podcasting in a conference room at Talent Network with Craig Wolfley, former Pittsburgh Steelers lineman, broadcaster.
Yeah. Me and him. That's where you guys came on my radar.
I mean, the market's so saturated. Mm-hmm. I mean, almost everybody has a podcast. It's crazy because point of entry is very easy.
Sure.
It's kind of easy to do now.
Yeah,
you build equipment. Not like this. I mean, this is great.
You might have a little overboard here, but
yeah, you've taken it to the next level, and this is a level I love because like Joe Rogan with the video and stuff, and you can really do so much more. But
sure.
So we did that. Then we worked with a kid from MTV, a guy named Derek Kaczynski. He was on like MTV The Challenge, which used to be Road Rules, and got introduced to him by a local Pittsburgh guy named Tim Beggy. And Tim goes, hey, man, Derek's living down in West Virginia. Maybe Talent Network can help book him. Try to make him some money. And
sure,
he's got a big name. Started working with Derek. And I go, hey, man, we want to do a podcast. You're on some of these MTV shows, and you know the people. Or if you're not on the show, you're watching it. Why don't we do a podcast talking about the episode? And because you know what goes on that.
Sure.
So I did a podcast with Derek in 2010 for a couple years, and he's really popular. MTV Kids are really popular, and we got 500,000 downloads.
Wow!
On the first year, and for us, it's like, okay, that's only the second podcast we're doing, and it's like, this is interesting. And I told Dave, I go, why don't we make a network out of this? Let's make a network, a few shows, and so we did. We had like 9-10 shows on there at one point, and the Pittsburgh Podcast Network was growing, but it wasn't making money.
Interesting.
Yeah, but we were able to move pretty quick and get a lot of names. Mm-hmm. Because we had funding. Talent Network funded it.
Sure.
Buy good equipment.
Yeah.
Make it like a little studio and get signed and stuff like that.
You guys are part of the crafting of this was what you folks were doing.
This is much higher end, but we I
don't know.
Hey,
we had pretty good.
We had a good studio. It sounded good.
Your sound was amazing.
Yeah.
Your sound was exemplary.
Yeah, we had a good sound people, and we took a lot of pride in it. Again, I had to learn from scratch. Mm-hmm. Right, and there was a lot of learning curves, and there was always something goes wrong on a podcast.
You don't say.
Yeah. My headphones didn't work, so I'm not wearing them. But it's my hair. I know. I'm like, you want to wear headphones? I go, no, it took me a while to grow this hair. I need to have this stuff look good.
Too.
I don't know.
Don't
I
rub
don't know
it in. That's why I wear a hat.
I don't know what's going on here. Growing out the hair. Grew the Pittsburgh
Do it if
podcast.
you can, my friend, for as long as you can.
Oh my God! I know. There's times I've shaved my head bald. Like I do it every now and then.
Why would you do that?
God bless my mom and dad. Mom, I love you. Rachel Monty Murgia. Mom, I love you. Dad, I miss you. My dad Frank, who passed away.
God bless.
Great, wonderful family. My mom and dad, but they would lose their. My dad, especially, would. Because I either had mustache, Fu Manchu, half a goatee. Long hair, short hair, bald. They go, "What are you doing? What is California done to you?"
You changed a lot. Yeah, you changed. Yeah.
People would make fun of me. Like, they think you had this little kid with the shavings in it. It had like the magnet shavings, so you can move it around and like put a face on it. You go, every day you must just go shake your head and just draw a new face on there. So I'd shave my head bald and stuff like that. And they go, someday that's not coming back. I know. But the podcast network is great. We grew it into some good things, but it wasn't making money. You know, it's hard to make money in podcasting.
Mm-hmm. Well, it comes ad revenue, right?
Ad revenue, and we were local. We were kind of keeping it local, Pittsburgh, so we weren't going for national money. But even we thought we could make a dent getting the local money here.
Sure.
But, you know, people to this day don't know, what is a podcast? How do I get a podcast? Where do I watch it? I go, well, you don't watch it, though you are starting to now. Like this one.
Yes, you can.
And, you know, this town is... We finally made money doing it, but it took a while to do it. Sure. But I always say, and this town is coming around now. That's good. You should invest in podcasting because the good podcast. There are some good ones in this town like this. Their audience is loyal, and they do a good job of putting good quality. And they promote it on social media, and those are the people. You know, smaller audience is sometimes a more loyal audience.
Sure.
So know. So I tell people, if you're a business, look at podcasting. There's some good ones around town. Call me. I'll let you know who they are. But, you know, we weren't making a ton of money. Right. I always said about this town, and it's still growing, that the money is in the middle for podcasting. At least this is my feeling. There's still an older generation running the companies, making the decisions, writing the checks. They don't know what a podcast is still. We had some sponsor for one of our podcasts. I won't mention it. And we go, hey, listen, we'll have you come in on the episode. Bring your team. We'll feature you on this episode of the podcast. They come in, do the show. And podcast is audio normally. They come in. Oh, that's great. So that was live, right? Was that live? Did people hear it? I go, no. It was recorded, edited, put up. It's on-demand audio. They go, well, when will it be out? Where can we watch it? I'm going, oh, my God. I go, you don't watch it. I didn't say this to them. I'm going, I go, I guess we're just taking their money. I go, make sure the checks keep clearing because we explained to them very clearly what it is, how you get it, where you get it. No idea. We go, and they're paying money. They soon left. But I said the money's in, but there's still a lot of older people, older generation running companies. They don't want to cut people. Facebook is popular. That's your advertising, Facebook, Instagram, whatever.
No question.
But then there's the millennials and the younger crew, the baby boomers that get podcasting, know how to do it, know the value. They're the loyal listeners, but they're not cutting the checks. You're not cutting the checks for your $500,000 a month, whatever you're going to need, $2,000. So I think the money's in the middle. As you know, the older generation ages out of running those companies.
Right. That
younger generation is going to get to the middle. They're going to take over those companies.
Absolutely.
And they're going to know the value of podcasting.
No
and plus, podcasting is growing, and its own value is growing along with it. It's coming to the middle itself. But I thought Pittsburgh was still very little behind the times.
Yeah, that's. I think we're. Archaic is the wrong word to use.
Yeah.
But business-wise, we're not early adopters to most things.
No, we're not. I mean, they used to love the two newspapers. It's still about the radio. It's still DVE or KDK or 3WS. It's like very habit forming. You can lock it in, you just do it. You know what I mean? Town's very the same like that, and I love it for it though. You know.
But it's changing slowly.
It's changing, but so the Pittsburgh Podcast Network, it's still there, but we don't. It's not operational. It's a name. We'll promote some stuff every now and then. It's a good name. I don't want to give it up because I still think it's going to come back.
It's a great name.
So I'm holding on to it along with David Settelmeyer. Our studio's still set up, and they do it actually. Dr. Mike veterinary podcast. I
just watched one the other day.
Yeah, they do Dr. Mike. So I'm not there anymore. We're going to talk about that, but it's there. It's really not active. People still call and go, "Hey, can we get on a network?" I'm really not adding anybody right now because it's not funded. It's like, listen, we're making some money, but we're not making enough money. Just keep putting money into it.
Right.
And I'm okay with that because David at Talent Network gave me 4 years of money to try to make it work. And the last year, we were making money.
Right.
We made money.
Yeah.
All the shows were making money, but it wasn't a lot of money. They were making money, but it wasn't a lot of money. And we didn't know really, it wasn't really sustainable. These sponsors come and go, and you got to keep bringing them in. And it was a point where Talent Network was more important than the Pittsburgh Podcast Network, because Talent Network was my real job.
Well, sure.
Their brand, their social media, their entertainers.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the Podcast Network was a toy, a good toy, but then it finally came to a point where it was brought to me that, we might want to put an end to this. Not, and kind of just leave it around until maybe we could circle back around to it. And I didn't fight it. I was fine with it. Because I knew how hard it was, and I also knew it was taking me away a lot from my real job at Talent Network.
It's a network.
We had like nine shows.
You had 9 shows.
We had like 9 shows at one point.
I mean,
so they're coming in every day, and plus they're coming in during the middle of the day. And there's an office, Talent Network's right there, and we got people coming in and out, and there's noise, and so I'm working 2 jobs. I said, hey, let's start a Pittsburgh Podcast Network. But it didn't mean another check came with that. So I was doing 2 jobs. I'm realizing I'm doing 2 jobs trying to grow this other company. I go, fine, let's end it. Well, we'll get everybody on their own. They can go out on their own, and we'll just keep the name. And it comes back. It'll come back someday.
We really are looking at ways through your assistance to not rebrand, but redescribe, or a new description of what we're doing. Because when I say podcast, I think the video doesn't resonate. If I say video podcast, people get confused because they're still trying to figure out what podcasting means.
Yeah, web show.
So there's a little confusion in describing what we do.
It is. And don't tell anybody that's heavy in the podcast industry. The podcast, the word's a bad word. It doesn't really fit the medium anymore.
It's not.
It's like, it is what it is. It's derived like from the iPod.
I thought Apple
podcast.
owned that word.
No, I mean pod, like from the iPod. There was audio on it, and then podcast, but it really wasn't that. I don't think they don't own the word.
They wish they would have.
I bet they wish they would have
trademarked that word, huh?
Yeah. So podcast was always. It was audio on demand. On-demand audio.
Which we have. Which we have.
You get it anytime you want. Listen, fast
all
forward,
our shows
whatever.
Are that way. iTunes, well, now I guess it's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts.
Spotify.
It's great. The audio the audio portion of the show has been successful, and I didn't think it would be, but it has been.
I love audio. I love putting it in my ears, and again, you listen when you want.
Right.
On your own time, so you're loyal to it, but you go back to it and fast forward it, whatever, pause it. I love podcasting. I mean, that's why I got into it. I love it, and I listen to so many. But then as podcasting, I'm always angered because there's a lot of shows, not really podcasts in a truer sense, a lot of radio shows, they'll just repurpose. They'll be on the air radio live, and then they'll repurpose it as on-demand audio and go listen to, if you didn't miss the show today, go listen to the podcast.
Yeah, nothing really unique about that.
It is a podcast, isn't it? But it's not to me. It's not really a podcast. Podcasts were originally kind of. It wasn't on the air. It wasn't on the radio.
It was organic.
It was organic.
Yeah.
You were creating it, and it was storytelling or comedy or whatever it was going to be, and you were creating it for that medium to listen. But you're just all the radio shows. I listen to them too.
They repackage them.
They repackage,
same
repurpose,
content,
and they make it on-demand audio, but they put it under the podcast label. So I think it hurts real podcasting a little bit. Like this is a real podcast. This isn't
purely organic.
Yeah, purely organic. So that could hurt podcasters a little bit, especially the ones trying to get up and running. I mean, when people are putting money into podcasts, they're going to go, well, what's the one that's on the radio? I go, well, it's not. No, you're not. That's WDV. Podcast.
Now, is that still a national phenomenon, or do you think that's more like in more older towns like Pittsburgh?
I mean, it's natural. If you go on iTunes, look at the top podcasts, they're mostly all radio. A lot of them are radio shows.
That's interesting.
I mean, there's some like Bill Simmons, but a lot of them are radio shows. Repurposed, political shows, or Dan Patrick.
So that's still corporate. That's still big corporate. Try to basically hijack the term to some degree.
Yeah, I feel it's been a little bit hijacked, and they're hijacking the creative people who are blood and guts podcasters and putting their life into that. Yeah. And then the big radio shows just repurpose it and repackage it and call it a podcast and get all the money. Joe Rogan is a great one. That's a real show. It's a real podcast. It became a video show like this, a video series. But that's what you said. What do you call? Are you still calling a video show a podcast?
Yeah, which I think has been a mistake for us. I'll be bluntly honest with you. I think it has been.
But it is because you still do offer a podcast format.
Absolutely.
But so a lot of it is lost in translation where everybody's just jumping onto the podcast name, and it's getting just, I think, cluttered and saturated with a lot of different things that wasn't what an original podcast was. But like this is the Eric McKenna Show. It's a video web series. It's a web video. It's a video show. It's a web series.
I didn't want to do this without the video, and I'll tell you why. And it was when I was turned on the Rogan, the audios were great, but when I saw the show, there was something about watching, even if it was just in the corner of my screen, I was glancing at it. Something about watching the interaction and watching the guests talk. Being animated, that inflection of their face. You miss something, I think, with audio only. You do. And
I know they say radio's theater of the mind and stuff like that, which is great. But, as we're growing into a visual medium and with social media,
right.
I mean, I kind of like to see who's talking and what the interaction is. And I think we grow more accustomed to that, and you can get more out of it. It's different for everybody. But I like the video. Now, they always say, video, podcast is a little easy. On-demand audio is good because you can put it in your ears. You can work out.
Right.
You could walk.
Right.
Listen to while you're driving. Video, you can't be watching video when you're driving. You're on the exercise bike, or out for a walk. I mean, so
you have to do both.
Yeah, so that's why it's good to have the audio and the on-demand and the podcast. So you still don't want to not call yourself a podcast because you still offer that, and there's still a lot of people that love that. It's very popular.
So does this video podcast resonate with people?
I don't know. I mean, maybe it does. Maybe I should know.
Well, the reason I asked that question...
I know what it means. But you still say, I have a video podcast. People go, what?
Well...
People that know what a podcast is will know what that is. But you're still running into the people that don't even know what a podcast is.
Right.
So now you're throwing the word video on it. I go, I don't even know what the first word is.
Well, I had Dareth Chisholm in for a show. We were talking about wonderful show, wonderful guest, fantastic woman. She loved what we're doing, the visual aspect of it. She goes, we did this. I had what I called a video podcast, and she said to me, it really didn't the term didn't translate well. And she goes, the show content, I was very proud of it, but I don't think we could get enough attention on this new media. It was really hard to brand. And she kind of gave me the heads up. It's going to be hard to brand a video podcast because that term doesn't exist yet.
No, and
for what it actually is.
Yeah, and it's hard because people are still used to watching a TV. And if you're doing long form video,
right?
I mean, people don't have time to sit there on a computer and just watch the show. People, if you have a video show or you can't say it's a TV show because it's not on TV.
Right,
but
right.
With today, I mean, you can get YouTube on your TV, or you can stream it from your phone onto your TV. So
Correct.
you could, it's a web series. It's a web show. It's a web series.
Yeah, web series.
People, it's a video web series, and so people could put it up on your TV. Video web series.
That's good. That's
Eric
good.
McKenna show. It's a video web series. It's long form. Whatever, but. We're still growing into it because I know that I have ESPN Plus, and I know ESPN Plus is like a $5.99 a month or whatever.
On demand, right?
On demand. They have extra programming, other shows on your phone, but really it's on the TV. You have your Amazon Fire Stick or whatever you use or smart TV. You can download the ESPN Plus app, and you can watch what you would watch on your phone there. But it's the same with YouTube. There's a YouTube app on your smart TV.
Right.
You can go there and you can watch YouTube. And
I have people telling me they watch this show on their television, which is amazing to me.
Yes, which is we can do that, people.
Yeah.
But a lot of people still don't. A lot of people will still say, I don't want to watch something on my phone. I go, no, I mean, it's on your phone, but it's on all smart TVs.
Right.
It's on your Amazon.
Right.
I think maybe this town, there's still a hard transition. You try to get people to find a podcast. Because like I say, when someone's going to give you money, they go, well, how do I hear my commercial or the money I'm buying? They want to turn on a radio and hear their commercial.
Oh, yeah.
If they're going to pay you a sponsor fee,
right? I
still think some of the older generation, they want to get in a car and hear, or they want, or the coworker comes, hey, I heard a commercial. Hey, I saw a commercial on TV last night.
Then they feel validated for the money they spend.
With a podcast, you can't.
Right.
You got to go to your phone. You got to download the app if you don't have it already. Look it up, subscribe, refresh the episode, listen to the episode. It's like 6 steps. Where's my commercial? Well, you got to scroll ahead. It's in the beginning or the middle. It's like, what am I paying for?
Well, the concept of on demand is lost, unfortunately, with the older generation. Yeah. And it's not their fault. It just it wasn't around. It wasn't around then. So the concept of paying for advertisement on an on-demand program is I get it. I can see where that'd be concerned to some.
Again, it's a little slower to the market for this town. They still want to buy a billboard or a newspaper ad or the same. You hear like the same 6 commercials. Like if you listen to sports talk radio in this town, it's construction, it's lawyers.
Yeah,
it's the same.
Realtors.
Realtors too. But
I was one of them.
but I mean that's what this town is. But it still works for some people.
Windows, construction, windows, cars.
Yeah, it still works. But I will tell you that. Don't sleep on podcasting or on demand or a video show like this. Don't get lost in the numbers or how you need to find it because there's a younger audience and I'm 50s. I'm not younger, but it's an audience that knows how to get this.
Certainly.
And with smart TVs. So if you're a company owner, you've been thinking about, I don't know, I mean, podcasting or a web show, don't, because you want to grow. You want these people to grow with you. You want to get them now and have them start seeing your ads, your brand awareness, top of mind. Don't discount them. Put a little bit of money in, invest, grow with it, give it time.
Right.
It's a loyal audience. It may not be big. See, people get the numbers like, well, how many households does it reach with the radio, TV, or how many? I go, the video and the podcast numbers, they're not going to be anywhere near. You can't compare them.
No.
You can't go, well, I'm not paying that, or I can get this. I go, yeah, well, you'll pay $40,000, whatever. But so I would just say that it's a good medium. It's still coming. It's not going away.
It's in infancy. We talk about it being podcasting environment being saturated. Because I think there's so many people flocking to the entry point.
Yeah.
But 90% of them will not make it. Because they want instant gratification, which you have to build something out. It's any business. You have to build it. But I think it's the new media. It's unregulated for the most part here. I mean, it's complete. No one's cracked down on me for having any kind of guest or any kind of. I'm just saying.
No one's at the door.
Who knows,
you're
right? But the point is, it's the new media now.
It is. And maybe they're a little afraid of it too, because it's from freedom of expression, and maybe they can't control it. There's no real regulations,
No,
like on radio and FTC or whatever, or SEC,
well, that's
whatever
attracted
it is.
me to that. I wanted musicians, I wanted comics on it, I wanted them to come on unencumbered, and I wanted them to be irreverent. And I also, for myself, when I'm engaging in conversation, I want to have fun. If this isn't fun, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
So if I slip of the tongue, if I become irreverent in a moment in time, I don't want to have to censor myself. Yeah. I love that.
I agree.
I love that.
I agree. I call it like long form loyalty. I mean, if you can offer a long form type of program, whether it be 20 minutes, 30, hour. Rogan does like 2 hours, whatever.
Depends. He lets the guests drive it.
That's like you do here.
Yeah,
again,
absolutely
I
right.
love what you're doing in Pittsburgh. You're having great guests. You're going to have more.
Yeah.
And again,
thank you.
If you want to turn it off halfway through, you can. We hope you don't, and you hope you don't. But it's like you want to get a little taste of, I'll hear what Frank listens to, but it's always here for you. It's always on demand. You can always go back and listen to
it. My friend,
your ad that you ran or your sponsor mentioned, it doesn't go away in a month. If you only bought a month's worth of sponsors,
that's permanent.
If you put it in a magazine, I'm in this month's issue of a magazine. Okay, so are 1,000 other ads, and that magazine's gone in a month.
That's right.
It's
there.
It's
part
there.
of the permanent record.
Permanent record. Come sponsor this show.
As I'm telling people, I don't take any sponsors.
I know. I got to bring my own product in it. This episode's sponsored by Trust Brothers, right?
That's what I'm going to hear about. You had Frank out there selling your show, and you're telling everybody you don't want any sponsors. My whole goal initially was to get 100 to 150 shows under my belt.
Yeah.
Because what I didn't want to do was take a sponsor and have the sponsor be uncomfortable with the guest or the content, because I want it to be what it is, how it organically grows.
You don't want to dictate. You don't want to.
I don't want to be dictated to.
Exactly, and that you want to have the freedom of expression, but also the freedom, of a sponsor coming on knowing anything can happen. I have a wide range of guests. So you have to pick and choose a little bit like that.
Absolutely right.
You have to pick and choose
to find the right sponsors.
Right sponsors, but those who do this, it's a passion. You love it. You have an itch for it.
Absolutely.
I mean, I did it for 3 years without making any money. Pittsburgh Podcast Network, we weren't making any money, but I loved it. I love the people.
There's a lot of freedom here.
There's
freedom in this room.
Yeah.
I think you feel that as a guest, right? There's freedom. You're not. I do some radio. I do a radio show, as you know, in Beaver County. So, but that show, I can't express myself at times the way I need to.
Right.
It probably isn't good business.
Yeah.
And I have to be respectful for the FCC and the station.
Yeah, you're locked out. You're on a clock, and
there's freedom, and it's
and I think some people are maybe afraid of that freedom.
Sure,
putting their brand on there, but it's a new way. I mean, it's all visual, video, images, social media, influencers. I mean, influencers, podcasting, video, influencers. That's the new billboard.
Yeah, think about that. It's
changed. Billboards, newspapers, radio. Numbers are dropping. Newspapers are going away. It's us. And it's people with influence are the new. That's the new medium.
Think about being in one of the top 4 advertising firms that just joining as a young person. Let's say you're 22, coming out of college. You get you catch them, whoever it is. The landscape of those firms today have to be so different than even 30 years. That's 25 years ago.
Yeah,
it's so different. It has to be.
Yeah, it's not Mad Men.
No, it's not Mad Men.
It's not Mad Men, and they're pitching Lucky Strike.
No.
It is. It's really changed. I'm sure they've had learn to figure it out too, because there's not a lot of regulation on it. It's the Wild West. People can do whatever they want, and you're trying to think, okay, I want to try to pitch this company to this medium.
Yeah.
It could be dangerous, though.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't know what they're going to say, what they're going to post, what they're going to do, but and the market's very saturated. Everybody's an influencer. You're not. Everybody's a podcaster.
A lot of young kids
you're doing it.
Influencers,
You're not doing it properly. I'm sorry. What's
that?
A
lot of young children. A lot of young people coming out of high school, and some in high school, some in college. They want to be influencers. This is where you're seeing the proliferation of Instagram.
And I cringe.
Not all real healthy activities there, but you'll see, because it's like anything else. You know, there's always going to be an outlier or two that make it.
Oh yeah.
But there's a couple million trying that are not going to.
It is. It's a gift and a curse. It makes me angry. A lot of, but I'm the same way. I want attention sometimes,
Sure.
not all the time. You know, because I want to be a performer, and you have the attention. You have the reaction of what you're performing.
Right.
Whether I'm putting something funny up on the internet, we're looking for reaction. And a lot of the influencers, you know, it's funny. There's a term called thirst trap, thirst pick.
Trap.
So a thirst trap or a thirst pick is, you see them everywhere. Somebody puts an image on their social media. It's really a cool, and guys can do. You see a lot of the girls in bathing suits. It's a thirst pick. You're putting up, you're thirsty for likes. You're thirsty for attention. But really, anything you post, you're kind of, if you're in it or it's about you, it's a thirst trap. It's a thirst pick. They want to get those likes. They want to get that attention.
Absolutely.
And that's the way of the world, though. I mean, that's what it is. I can't be mad at influencers. Maybe they'll tick me off because not everybody is an influencer, but you want to be. But hey, I wanted to be a performer all my life. Right. Sometimes I run from social media, not for my job, but for my personal social media. And then sometimes I want to back on it. I want to be on it. I need a little attention. And I guess call me whatever. It's shallow or whatever. But I think through social media, a lot of us want attention. A lot of us want that reaction of, ooh, did something that's why everybody posts everything, because they want to get the reaction.
Yeah.
So I can't hate it, but that's who we are.
I think it's sharing too. I think it started out organically, or people wanted to share their lives.
Yes.
But I think the lure of being paid attention to became the overdriving effect that grew these companies.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, and that's a problem the fact that everybody can do it.
Easy.
Everybody can tweet.
Immediate entry.
Everybody can post. The entry points. So a lot of people that shouldn't be typing or posting or saying stuff can do it with no repercussions.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on Twitter?
I used to love Twitter. It was my favorite thing. And I love the guy who runs, one of the guys who runs it, Jack Dorsey. He's a maniac. A lot of people don't like him, but I love the concept of it. But it's so mean. It's so angry. I now hate it.
I hate it too.
I mean, I used to have a lot of Twitter followers. I deleted my account. I probably should have deactivated it, but deleted it. So now I'm on Twitter, but I have like maybe 90 people follow me because I just started from scratch and I don't tweet a lot because it's just no one has anything nice to say. People are waiting to jump. People are just waiting in the weeds to jump on you about something. You didn't do this right or that. I mean, everybody has an opinion.
Format like the 140 characters. Is it that quick punch in the face? Is like that you can do it there?
Yeah, like Jack Dorsey said, the guy from Twitter. He goes, you know, because you can't go back and edit them. Once you put it out there, it's gone. He goes, it's kind of like text messaging. And it was in text messaging was only like a certain amount of characters. That's why Twitter was that, because we just wanted to be a short message or a feeling, and for people to communicate back and forth.
No retraction.
But you can't take it back. Can't delete, unless you have a weird app that'll delete your text. And so I loved Twitter, and when I was on Twitter early, I loved it for information. I love information. So all you gotta do is follow all the genres or the topics you like, and there's real-time information constantly coming.
Small spurts.
Small bursts.
Yeah.
Headlines. Boom, boom, boom. That's all I need. Just keep massaging the information. I love Twitter. And it got so angry. We're full of hate and negativity, or I hate it.
Our politics didn't help that at all.
Our politics didn't help that. It's in between race and politics. And I used to love Twitter. It was my favorite thing. I loved it.
So I think Facebook and Instagram are still driving everything.
They are. Instagram is I mean, Facebook's still the king. I mean, but it's an
owns
order.
Instagram.
Facebook owns Instagram, WhatsApp. They're buying some other things. But Facebook, it's an older generation, different demographic. So
it's been tremendous for this show.
Yeah,
tremendous.
My demographic is that kind of Instagram, a little younger demographic, but very visual, photos, videos, very creative, very dynamic, very huge. But then there's Snapchat, TikTok. There's always another platform coming up.
But
it's instant. And TikTok is more It's like a lot of young people, but it's like entertaining. People are just doing fun, entertaining things. Look at me. It's like hashtag look at me, hashtag thirst pick.
The look at me world that we're in right now. It's
I know. Like I'll put videos up or stuff on Facebook. I'll even put a little hashtag. Go look at me. I'll sneak it in, and my friend will go. I saw you put that. He goes. I go. Sure, because I'm saying look at me. I want attention. So if every now and then look in if I do a post that it's probably a thirst pick that I'm looking for attention. You know what those are if you see my Facebook page.
So
I was in hiding for months, and all of a sudden now I'm like, you can't get me off Facebook.
That's okay. That's all right. We like to see as opposed to not see.
Look at me.
I have to ask it because unless what I read is wrong, but did you work for the Playboy Network for a while?
Oh God, you're going back to California. Can we?
Sorry, Mom.
Can we cut? What camera are we going to cut?
Sorry, Mom.
Yeah, as I was bouncing around from jobs, I had some friends that worked at the Playboy channel.
Okay.
Because I had worked with them on legitimate shows, like the show Street Smarts, one of the producer. And like I said, when you're producing a show and it's on hiatus, or maybe it's a show that doesn't get picked up,
right?
You're looking for a new job.
Right. You're
freelancing again. And it's kind of the cool thing about freelancing. You'll work with 30, 40 people. The show will end. A lot of them will go, you'll go different places. Everybody spiders out.
Okay.
But now people working on all these different shows. So there's always someone who calls you and go, hey, I worked with you on that show. Could you come work on this show? So it's kind of neat.
This is called natural networking.
Natural networking, yeah.
Non-electronic.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Intermingling
Human
with people.
connection.
Human connection. And so I had one of the producers from Street Smarts, and he knew some people at Playboy. He goes, I'm going to take a job at Playboy. It's solid. It's steady. It's good money.
Okay.
It's beautiful women.
Yeah,
so I had a couple friends that worked over there. So
no negatives there, pal.
Yeah, I was out of work. I go, it's one of those 3-month gaps, so I'm not getting work. I said, anything going on over there, I can get a gig.
Right.
And they did. So I got some work, production work at Playboy TV.
Okay.
And again, it was a Playboy TV channel, and it's not porn, but usually always tasteful.
Mm-hmm.
They do Sexy Girls Next Door, Playmates of the Month, and
game shows,
and yeah. So they had the Naked News.
Naked
News was a show.
Why do I know that?
And I was actually the producer of the Naked Sports.
Oh, get out.
Yeah, we had Naked Golf, Naked Basketball, Naked Bowling, which was a hit. We brought that back twice.
Naked Bowling.
So this is the very first time. I mean, I don't know how many people know this in Pittsburgh, that maybe 6. Not my mom, not my dad, God rest his soul, not my sisters. So if you're watching this, I know you are family. I am telling you, because I had to tell them I had a job. They were always like, are you working? Are you working? Yeah, I'm working for Playboy. What? What are you doing for Playboy? I order equipment. I lied to them. I go, after I promote this, she'll go, I remember you told me you ordered equipment. I go, Mom, I'm in a back room. In a cubicle, I order equipment. There's no naked women running around. I'm in an office. I'm just ordering equipment.
Apparently there were.
Yeah, and there were. And I had to go cast them. They go, your casting at 2:00 is here. So I bring a camera in and another woman just to make sure we're okay. And she gets naked. And I go, well, okay, you can bowl. Good. And yeah, I had a job at Playboy. A lot of people are envious. I have no regrets in life. ESPN, MTV.
Yeah.
Playboy Channel was cool. I worked there for a couple years. It was a steady job.
Right.
We came to shoot a Playboy thing in Dayton, Ohio, called Playboy's Sexy Girls Next Door, and I said, well, I get some people from Pittsburgh to come help us.
Sure.
Cheap labor, cheap crew.
Cheap labor.
They didn't want to fly people from LA all the time. And I got a friend of mine. I don't know if I should say it. He was a guest on this show. He's a longtime friend of mine. Hirsch. Remember Hirsch? Herschel? Andrew Herschel. Easy. I go, Hirsch.
I can see Herschel in the Playboy Channel. I can see that.
I go, Hirsch, you're not on the radio right now. He goes, you want to come out to Dayton? We need a van driver to drive the Playmates around. He goes, what? I mean, he was in Dayton before we landed. I mean, he had a van. He goes, like, you have a van, right? He goes, I have a van. I go, get to Ohio.
This is wonderful. Hirsch has a reoccurring spot on this show.
He does.
Riffing with Hirsch. So episode 3 is coming up. I have something now to bring up to him.
Oh, bring it up.
We're going to talk about that, Hirsch.
I still have the VHS. You'll see he has a credit at the end.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. So I worked for Playboy, but I got to go to the Playboy Mansion. Met Hef, Playmate of the Year parties, all that. We interviewed Hef in his library. Been there 3 or 4 times. The Grotto, dirty and smelly. Yeah, the Grotto, it's kind of...
Yeah, it's... and correct me if I'm wrong, but most of the parties and things that really happen there are on the grounds, right? I mean, it's only a small part of the mansion, which was accessible.
Yeah, the mansion's small. It's small, and you get to walk in through and dated. You get to walk in through the lobby, kind of the common area, and you can't walk through the house. Right. You're not allowed to walk through the house or into Hef's library. Right. Then you go right out back. There's the pool, there's the Grotto, a bunch of tents, parties.
Yeah.
But,
It's still the Playboy Mansion.
It's still the Playboy Mansion, man. And it's
part
so
of Americana.
It is, and it was great. It was a lot of fun. I worked for Playboy and ordering equipment.
Ordering equipment?
Yeah, people are going,
What
I
kind of
bet
equipment did you
there's some equipment involved.
You weren't getting out of here tonight until I asked that question for sure,
No,
pal.
I actually dated one of those girls. I'm not going to say it, but because I think she went to rehab. So, but
Well,
you can still see her on late night TV.
Oh, yeah.
on some of those channels, not porn, just
So
How do you know what? I wasn't planning on going anywhere there. I went
imagine
there.
not.
I had to reveal. Well, listen, I've taken up enough of your time.
No, I want you to educate me a little bit on CBD. Because again,
Really?
I have been. Well, I was never a big marijuana user.
Yeah, me neither. I
Growing up,
tried
once in a while, we were kids. It was never on my radar. I never craved to have it.
Yeah.
I like to drink once in a while. That was my buzz, right?
Yeah.
So when this whole, I guess, worldwide strive to legalize all this stuff, when the USA kind of creeping behind some other countries,
Yeah.
but it's now a prevalent thing.
Yeah.
It's not on my radar. So I start seeing these CBD oil signs on the side of the road. People, guy owns a gas station, a taco stand. He's got a little cardboard
got
magic
CBD.
marker on there, CBD oil. So it looked a little, sketchy to me.
Yeah, I think the oversaturation of it and the anybody can pretty much sell it anymore. It makes it seem like a little bit like snake oil.
Okay.
At least to me, I'm marketing an online brand, as I said, Trust Brothers CBD. TrustBrothersCBD.com.
Okay.
Again, doesn't get you high, has 0% THC. THC is like tetrahydrocannabinol. CBD is cannabidiol.
I think you like saying that.
I do like saying it because I can never say it. It makes me sound smart, and it's like I have no idea what that word means.
It's a big word, like
It's
gymnasium.
a big word, and it's like it doesn't make it. That's why they call it CBD instead of I'll take some cannabidiol. I go, it doesn't have any THC, so marijuana is big. It helps people.
Yeah.
I mean, for the medical purpose, it helps people. People need help. I mean, mental health and just health in general is terrible.
Right.
People are in pain. Everybody, inflammation, pain, whatever, chronic disease. People have problems. And if marijuana can help you, medical marijuana, yes, let's get it going. Let's, even with athletes.
Right.
But this does, marijuana, you have THC and CBD, and you get high. Well, there's no THC in CBD, but it still has the medicinal properties.
Okay.
Not as strong as like a marijuana, because that euphoric thing you get with the THC can make it a little more pain relieving.
Well, sure.
So you still get some of these the pain relieving and healthy
It can make
qualities.
you very unproductive though, and
It can make you
extremely
very
hungry.
Yeah, exactly. You're not going to get whacked out on CBD, but it's not going to cure. I'm not going to say it can help with inflammation.
Right.
It can help with your sleep. It helps me with sleep.
Is that how you use it?
I'm not a good sleeper. I mean, I'm a wired guy.
You're always on.
Well, not all the time, but I need to be on to be productive.
Right.
And so it's hard to shut it off at the end of the night. So I'm not a great sleeper. But I tried CBD. I tried CBD when I got into the business and tried it at work. I'll take a little bit of CBD at work. It's good for anxiety. I do have some anxiety problems.
Yeah.
And it's good to put a couple drops under the tongue or whatever. And it works for
Interesting.
me. I know it works for me. And I know it works for me sleep-wise. Well, it makes me tired in the daytime. So I couldn't take it in the daytime anymore because it's making me tired. But I have some friends take it. Doesn't make them tired at all.
Interesting.
Everybody, it interacts differently with everybody. Everybody's unique. But I know for me, it helps me sleep. I actually take the gummy bears now for the sleep. I usually take one. I sleep fine. If I take two, I sleep great. I mean, I have no hangover. I sleep. I don't get up. I sleep all night. Yeah. And I need that. Your body needs sleep.
Absolutely. And I think as we get older, that's definitely a struggle.
Yeah. I mean, sleep. I just heard a study on something. The people that don't get a lot of sleep die earlier and have more health issues.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So CBD can help with those things. It's not for, and again, you got to ease your way into the milligrams. Again, it can help with pain, inflammation, sleep, a variety of things. They say it can do everything. A lot of people are saying it cures this, cures that. You got to watch because you can get it anywhere. And they're already busting people. It doesn't have the right amount of CBD in it.
They should.
It has pesticides in it. All of our testing's on the website, trustbrotherscbd.com.
Right.
It's only online. You don't get it in stores.
Okay.
But you got to watch what you get because everybody can do it now.
Yeah.
And it's like, everybody's selling it, but you know, like the vaping industry.
Oh my gosh.
People are dying from vaping because people are making their own vape and selling it to the gas stations and stuff.
And even some of the vaping stuff that's supposed to be quote unquote safe, they're finding out now it's not.
Yeah. So. And some people were smoking or vaping CBD. It was bad CBD. Some people were
really.
The vaping industry got a little bit of a bad injury because a lot of those deaths, at least what I understand, is they weren't from vaping nicotine, like the vape, because you could vape CBD. People vape marijuana, CBD,
right.
But some of them were tainted mixtures of CBD products.
Wow.
People are just, again, people are creating their own things and putting it out there in their lab. It's like Breaking Bad. Yeah. And people are dying. So the vaping industry got hit hard, and they're going to continue to get hard, and they're going to take a big fall.
Wow.
And again, and not all of it is their fault, because some of those deaths they found, it wasn't nicotine. It wasn't vaping nicotine that killed them.
Wow.
It was tainted, CBD or other mixtures of whatever they were vaping.
Right.
So I love the CBD industry. I'm learning a lot. It's the health and wellness industry.
Right.
It doesn't help everybody. It does help people. And people say, "Oh, placebo effect." I go, I don't know. I know I have trouble sleeping,
right,
and I do not have trouble sleeping when I take it. I'm not having a placebo effect every night. So when I take it, I'm fine. If I put it in my coffee, actually, it gets me going. That's weird.
Interesting.
Because if I just take it in a day, I get tired, which is the relaxing properties.
Yeah.
If I put it in my coffee, a couple of drops, it's like, oh my God.
So it reacts with that little bit of caffeine.
It must interaction with the caffeine. I can't prove it, but because a lot of people put it in their beverages. I mean, a lot of people take the oil and put it in smoothies, coffee, tea. Oh, it's great. It's great. No taste.
Yeah.
No taste to this. You can bake it. That's an edible. You want to bake brownies, cake, whatever. Put the CBD in your, we have a big promotion on, holiday meals or whatever. Yeah, cook with CBD. Put it in your meals and your pies and your turkeys or whatever and your salads. Because you're putting health now you'll see. Oh, there's Coca-Cola and has CBD. CBD.
Is this where we're going with this?
We are going to this. It's starting. It's in hamburgers. I know there's going to be in soft drinks, but you got to, and even the gummy bears. I know. I keep saying, okay, so you're going to put something healthy into a big pile of sugar. I go, why are we doing this?
Defeating the purpose, right?
You're defeating the purpose. You're really just trying to sell something. Oh, but our Coca-Cola has CBD, and I go, yeah, but it's still a pound of sugar that's going to kill you. This is not going to counter.
Right.
Even, and I'll admit, we have gummy bears. Yeah, there's a little flavoring, some sugar in there.
Right.
It's not, not so, but there is 10 milligrams of CBD in each. But I do stand by them. But there's not heavy in sugar and stuff. You're not going to eat 30 of these. No. Yeah, you're not eating a whole meal of these. But
we hope not.
But you got to watch. Just be careful. But health and wellness is a big industry.
Yeah, huge industry.
There's big money in keeping us sick.
Yeah, there's a huge money keeping us sick. Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely right.
I'd lost a bunch of weight recently, and I put some back on. But a couple years ago, I lost like 50 pounds. And you realize you go to the grocery store, you really should not be eating almost anything in there. If it's in a box, if it's in a bag, if it's in a can, potato chips, little preservatives. So when I went on this diet to lose all that weight, I didn't eat any of that.
Right.
I mean, it was coffee, water, and green tea.
Right.
And it was, protein, greens,
no
and just like berries, like natural occurring sugar.
Right.
And you're starting to shop and going, oh my God, there's only like 2 hours I can buy anything in. But we eat it, especially as kids. And I don't have kids, but I kept thinking, if I had a kid, I would not be giving them soda. And you're pretty much giving I'm not judging. You're giving it's a cocaine addiction.
There's no question.
Sugar, sodas, it's a cocaine. It even looks like cocaine.
And the highs are high and the crashes are hard.
Oh, the crashes are hard. But that's, there's money in being, the government wants you to be sick.
There is.
They want you to be sick.
You will get no argument from me, my friend.
Yeah.
We are over medicated. We are too much synthetic. Too much synthetic stuff in our life. Period.
Exactly. And that's what we talk about, this all natural remedy from CBD, from the hemp plant and extracted. It's not an opioid.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to get addicted or high to it. There's a problem. If you can help relieve some pain with other things, don't be doing opioids.
I would say the government, through lobbying of all the pharmaceutical companies, have been we're behind the times on bringing this product to market. We are.
Oh, yeah.
We are.
And they're still fighting it. The FDA is still going to try to come in and put the clamps on all of it. And they're still going to fight it because they can't make all the money off.
No, it's money. It's all about pharmaceutical
healthcare,
money.
Pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, there's no question.
Big business. I think I'm out of gas.
You're awesome.
Gas,
this was great, pal. And again, the website is
trustbrotherscbd.com. Trustbrotherscbd.com. Thank you for letting me promote that. By the way,
absolutely right.
Follow me on Facebook, Twitter. Yes, Facebook is an Instagram. All trustbrotherscbd.com. So check it out and check me out. I'm usually out there doing something stupid and looking for. You'll see. If you go to Facebook, I'm really not on Instagram or Twitter much. If you go to my Facebook, Frank Murgia Jr., I think it is, because my dad had the other one.
Well, I will.
You'll see me being a ham and thirst pick. Look at me, thirst trap, whatever. You'll go. That Murgia just wants attention. Then you won't see me
Yeah,
for
and
3
I need
months.
to find a way to capture that to maybe do some projects together, my friend.
Yeah, we're gonna do
put
something.
it
You're
right
a
out
great
here.
dude, man.
Well, I feel the same about you as well, and thank you for doing this.
Yeah, man, good stuff.
This is
Thank
great,
you.
and this is going to solve a lot of. This is good because now when I say I'm from Coriopolis, and people say, "Oh, Frank Murgia." Yeah, and as a matter of fact, you just did my show. Go watch it.
Yeah, and if I can just close with one thing.
Absolutely.
I'm proud of my name, Frank Murgia, because my dad grew up in Coriopolis. His name was, his dad was like on the council, and he's even interim mayor, Dominic Murgia.
Yeah,
Grew
absolutely.
up
right.
across from the Dairy Queen in the Brick Row. If you know, a lot of people don't know where that is, but so, and I live now in Coriopolis again. My mom's back in Coriopolis. My dad, God rest his soul, who passed this summer. But so I'm proud when someone says they know Frank Murgia. I feel like they know my dad too, because my dad made quite a name for himself.
Sure
in
did.
Coriopolis, Robinson.
Yep.
So I'm attached to him in that way. So if you know me, you know him. So
God bless.
thank you.
You got it, and thank you, Frank Murgia. We are out.